Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you don't know me, my name is Letizia. So on this channel I mostly share my art, but I also like to write, and it's always my dream to publish a book one day. There's this story idea that I've had when I was like 11 years old. The story has changed a lot since then, and all the characters, and now the main character is someone else, and now I feel like the story has matured enough to actually maybe become a book. Even though I love writing, I am not very good at it, so it was kind of always in the back of my mind to write this book down and then turn it into a comic or something like that. First of all, let me tell you about the plan, and then I'm gonna tell you about the story. The plan is in 2026, I'm going to finish the first draft of the story. Here in this video, I'm gonna show you the progress from 0 words to 27,000 words. The first act, or the first third of my story. The plan pretty much just stops there. But yeah, the ultimate goal is to turn it into a webcomic, maybe. And also let me tell you about the story real quick. So it's a fantasy book. In the fantasy genre, it's got its own magic system, and I could honestly write an entire book about the magic system itself, but I'm not going to explain this here in detail. But there's like light magic and shadow magic, and of course sometimes stuff in between. The closest magic system, like in media, that I know of would be Avatar: The Last Airbender. I feel like that is the closest to what the idea of my magic system is. There's people that have light magic, there's people that have shadow magic, and there are people who have corrupted light magic, and that is magic that looks like light magic but doesn't really behave the same, and it's said to be a bad thing. And of course our main character Sarah has this type of magic. Basically what her story is, she has to hide that from everyone. And even though she always wanted to hide herself, hide her magic, she suddenly and unexpectedly gains a lot of power and decides to do good with that power. But over time, the power sort of corrupts her, but at heart, she's a good person. The story is a fantasy story, but it's mostly character-based. Like based on the psychology of this one character. Like it is just a metaphor for everything that's like othered or different or out of the norm. And if you know my Instagram, I used to post my OCs almost every day, and now I don't anymore because I don't know, sharing something so intimate is kind of cringe, I know. Figured if I have a YouTube channel, I wanted to use that to track my progress, and yeah, if it turns into a book or even a comic, I would be so happy. And if it doesn't, it's still my favorite hobby, so yeah, I hope you enjoy. Something that I've realized what makes writing this book so difficult is that I do have the whole book planned out, but I don't really have all the plot points planned out. Like, you know, I know what is going to happen, how the dynamics change, but I don't really have the how figured out and the when. And I only have this idea in my mind, And when I try to write it, I just continuously make up some new plot points that connect the pre-established plot points, and that is kind of where I'm struggling right now. Coming up with new plot points is no struggle for me, but it's like I don't even know if this fits in the book, and I guess I have to somehow find a way to keep it shorter, because right now I'm like 70 pages in. We're at 20,000 words right now, which, and 25,000 words was a goal for this month, for the month of April, which obviously I didn't achieve. I don't know what the actual problem is. I also feel like the story takes a little too long for it to pick up, and maybe there's just too much stuff happening in the beginning. But I mean, we're on draft 1, which is just where I'll pour every thought that I have into this book, and don't worry about writing beautifully. But you know, I wish to work with that. Hallo, ich mache mal ein kurzes Update zum Buch. Ich bin jetzt endlich über die Schwelle vom ersten Akt in den Hauptakt gekommen, und jetzt nimmt die Geschichte richtig Fahrt auf, und jetzt macht es wieder ein bisschen mehr Spaß zu schreiben. Aber ich merke auch, dass ich absolut schlecht geplant habe. Ich habe also jedes weitere Kapitel überrascht mich selber einfach nur, und dann bin ich so, ja okay, jetzt passiert auch noch das. Wie ihr sehen könnt, ist es schon richtig schön. Ich schreibe jetzt hauptsächlich auch draußen am Balkon.